Okay, fairies are enigmatic creatures. They're not easy to understand and comprehend, as they are often described as metaphysical beings that have very little reason or explanation of how they function. They seemingly have very few limitations to what they can do due to their whole magical aspect, and also seem to have very little known about them and what they are. One perplexing notion that I have been in agonizing and somewhat excruciating pain to solve is the rather strange conundrum of what exactly fairies are, as well as why they are able to do the things that they do. Where do they come from? Why do they have wings? Why are some the size of a pea whereas others are the size of a small human? I at times question my sanity due to the concept having so many logical plot holes per se, and I understand that fairies are very much a type of anime girl that exists outside of a realm of logic, and are on their own realm of lunacy. However, those that have watched my videos know that I am not one to allow the illogical to deter me from making sense of a conundrum that has no sense. I ventured on this conundrum with a sense of tenacious fury. I studied the concept of fairies and began research. Many of what I found contained speculative information concerning the origins of fairies, behavior, and what they are capable of. One rather enticing speculation I found regarding fairies is a theory that plays into their origins. It would seem that there are some that believe fairies to be the descendants of angels, or in some way closely related to them. I don't believe them to be fallen angels, as fairies are their own species, and fallen angels mostly turn into demon girls anyway. However, perhaps the claim that they're angels is not too far off, as they are able to do something that few types of anime girls are known to do, and that's the alteration of their appearance and height at whim. That they simply can change their height and size, and perhaps even their appearance, to whatever they please. While I was conducting my study session into fairies, I came upon various fascinating reports from people who have claimed to see fairies, state that they believed to have seen fairies look a particular way a certain day, and then a completely different way another day. Bizarre, to say the least, but ever the more captivating. Another important thing that is worth noting that I found out about fairies is that despite factors such as climate, environment, and diet, many fairies had attributes that didn't necessarily need to accommodate these factors. Now, we can argue semantics and be quick to infer the notion stated previously that fairies don't need reason, logic, and to be made sense of when they have magic, mystery, and whimsy. However, if we were to look at this through a scientific lens, fairies appear to have the ability to genetically mutate and change around their DNA. All living things have DNA after all, or a sort of genetic code and instructions that determines the attributes of a living entity, and as stated previously, a very small portion of anime girls are able to do this, and it is quite the coincidence that people from all over the science realm claim fairies come from angels. However, what of the fact that they are an entirely different species of anime girl and they're not fallen angels, as we've said, as they're not demon girls? Well, given that they technically seem to be mutating creatures and appear to have connections with not only angels but spirits as well, I'm going to make an educational guess and say that fairies were angel at one point, but for some reason or other were cast out of heaven and are now sharing a realm with us humans. Some would say in some way or other. I mean, kind of. It's a little bit more complex than that. Apparently, as I soon found out, my research would suggest that fairies inhabit almost like a pocket dimension inside of our realm, and can go in and out of our realm into their realm, where their little fairy realm is, so they essentially inhabit a realm inside of a realm, but that's a subject for another video. It's as the saying goes, fairies are not evil enough to be demons, but they are not good enough to be angels. And with that, if you guys enjoyed this video, theoretically if you have watched this far, then you do enjoy my videos, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, share this with your neighbor, high school teacher, and your wife, and I'll be back to answer another question that not even scientists can answer.